Today I'm watching Peaky Blinders Season 4, Episode 5, almost the end of the season, which is crazy. We saw that scene at the end of the last episode with Tommy driving away and Luca and the Italians following very closely behind, so I'm very worried for what this episode's going to be about. I'm hoping they pick up right away and we continue to see where that story's going to go and they don't make us wait till the end of the episode, but I feel like it's going to be a good episode overall. This show hasn't disappointed yet. It's been so amazing and just keeps getting better and better. I'm worried to see what will happen if Tommy finds out about this plan, what that's gonna look like for Polly and Michael. So it's just such a well-written show and I'm really enjoying the series so far. Thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and check back often for more awesome content. Okay, good. What I was hoping for was just a continuation of the scene. Tommy's driving Luca, the Italians are right behind him. Charlie Murphy, any relation to Cillian Murphy? Oh?
Shoot out its tires.
Yeah, and we've had different theme songs for the past few episodes as well.
I'll fire the final shot.
Oh, okay, it's just a, it's not a different theme song, it's just a cover. Okay, cool.
Say Simon.
Yeah, he knows something's up, but is he gonna know it's Polly's the one who set him up? Oh my god. Cheese and rice, here we go. Oh my god, bye. Oh. They love their machine guns, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm wondering how he knew it was a setup. I'm hoping we'll find out. Yeah, did he figure it out? Did someone tip him off? Yeah, or Polly told him and knew that. I was wondering if that would be the case. That it was more of a setup for Luca than it was for Tommy. Oh, God. Yeah, I had my doubts about Polly sending Tommy to his demise. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, but still, I was like, that seems like a big turn for her character. Or maybe it was Michael. I guess we'll find out, but...
Stay indoors! Stay down! By all of the Peaky Blinders!
I love what they always say about Order of the Peaky Blinders. Like, everybody knows who you are at this time, bud. No one's like, who's this guy running around with a machine gun? I know this has been like a gangster show since day one, but man, this season it really feels like a gangster show. Like they just did such a good job of capturing like the 20s and with this Italian mafia and obviously Peaky Blinders. But yeah, this season it feels like I'm watching like an old-timey gangster movie.
No.
Yeah, he's got the hometown advantage, that's for sure. Can you imagine how terrifying Tommy would be if, I don't know if silencers were invented yet, but if he had access to one? Oh god! He will be avenged. Yeah, I feel like that should be on, you know, your business card. Just the business of revenging.
You own the cops in this dirty town. But you're gonna be dead before they get here.
I don't think the cops are concerned about saving Tommy Shelby.
Come on.
Oh, such a cool... They've done aerial shots a few times, and it's just, it just adds a whole new level to the show. Oh, these extreme close-ups! Ah! It's so good at building the tension. Oh, the police, the one time? Come on, seriously? You're gonna deny us the showdown? We're just getting to the good part. Aren't the police on the payroll? What are we doing here?
They're lawful business! Tell that the rule of law has been restored.
He's not on the payroll anymore? He's saying no? What?
Hey, soldiers are coming.
He's suddenly against taking bribes? What, has he made enough money, I guess, over the past decade that he's been taking their money? And now they're in trouble, because obviously they're not, like, this isn't over. Oh my gosh. Just this, like, beautifully orchestrated showdown, and then, boop, ripped away.
Policeman. After you got your OBE from the king, I didn't think there'd be a next time.
Yeah, I'm guessing Polly told Tommy of the plan.
Tell him the truth.
Tell Arthur the truth about what?
And I gave Tommy up.
Because that was the plan that Polly and I agreed on.
Yes, I knew it. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, I got 3.
Well, I'll drink to you, Tom, you mad bastard.
Yeah, he basically set himself up as live bait.
You come with us, eh?
Yeah, is Lizzie pregnant? They were kind of, Polly had suspected so in the previous episode, so, is she gonna tell Tommy?
I've had a hard day.
I don't drink whiskey or gin anymore, Tom.
Not for the next 9 months, oh.
Because they say it harms the baby.
There it is, yep. That'll get his attention.
By the canal when you're f***ing somebody else in your head. Except it wasn't her who got pregnant.
Tommy's gonna be a father again, and he does not seem pleased.
One of them point blank.
A baby. Little you and me.
He doesn't usually talk about, like, other than being like, yeah, I killed 3 of them.
Buy a nice house, eh? Come on, I'll drive you home.
I feel like he does confide in Lizzie more than other people, and yeah, he's like, you know, one of them was point blank. Like, obviously that's affecting him because that would be very traumatic, so...
I'm just looking.
Arthur, what are you up to? Oh, don't need those anymore, that's fine. We can't lose, like, Arthur and John in the same season. Come on.
Linda.
Arthur, you scared me to death.
Linda.
Oh, God, man down. Time for bed, Fred.
So will the people who take you there. So will the people who work in the hotel. And hotels don't move around.
They sure don't.
Boswell's will put up a fair fight.
Take your medicine.
Michael's a city boy. He's like, I don't want to spend, you know, however many weeks or possibly months in the woods with the Lee family.
Tommy says it won't be long. Then we'll be free.
She's trusting Tommy again. Maybe he's gonna actually listen and help them out now that she did spare his life.
Yes. Name of Birdie Boswell. You're royalty up there, Michael.
I think the only thing he's excited about this is the fact that his mom can't contact him and she has to wait for him to call her.
I can smell spring in the air.
Oh my.
It's like putting your head through a window and seeing the whole world.
Yeah, that near-death experience has brought back her, the second sight they call it, and yeah, I really like Polly's character.
I believe it's you who's kept Tommy Shelby alive all these years.
More than you know, yes.
Now give me the knife.
Yeah, she's definitely, like, changed her philosophy, and it's been interesting to watch, especially, like, the first half of this season. And compared to where she is now, like, I feel like she feels more awake and she feels more present. Oh, I'm getting spicy. It might end up being reckless and dangerous. I guess we'll find out, but she's definitely taking more risks. Yeah.
Whenever the mood takes me. And you are a strong, handsome man.
Oh, my. Such compliments.
And it is. This time.
Oh, my. Will she be the future Mrs. Gold? Oh. Oh, my.
Get him. If any harm comes to Michael, you shall have me as your enemy.
And you do not want that, sir.
And none of your knives can kill me.
She's invincible now. Yeah, it's definitely been interesting this season to go back to like Small Heath and to see like some of the, similar shots to where we started off with them. Even last episode, we had them all walking, like we see on the street in slow motion. So that was a pretty iconic shot from the first few seasons. Oh, Alfie. Alfie and Luca. Why am I not frickin' surprised?
We may better understand the darkness. And
That's an interesting experiment. Okay.
you can begin, go on.
He's like, you're not even gonna look at me. Like, I feel like Luca's doesn't appreciate this.
You're a bit of a failure, aren't you? You come all the way over here.
He called Luca a failure. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Luca, e tu fatta così, E non abbiamo bisogno.
I wouldn't be surprised if Alfie speaks Italian fluently. We know he's fluent in Russian.
Be thieving my oxygen, would you? Because I have 200 barrels a month, yeah, cleared by your people.
Of course, Alfie wants something out of this deal.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, you know that?
Why does he want him to go to this boxing match?
Down here, a list of costs pertaining to the assassination of a dear friend. All right.
Oh, I see. Okay, they're gonna get Alfie to kill Tommy. Here we go.
Because, like I stated, Tommy Shelby is a very, very good friend of mine.
Like he cares. He's like, oh, emotional damage. I'll need some extra money.
You will circumcise them. Yeah, you will have to circumcise them.
At what point? At what point would they check, sir? Oh, Alfie. He's like, I'm not gonna kill him. Or he's like, I don't need you to kill him. I need you to get my guys inside so they can kill him. But, yeah. Sounds like it's gonna go down to this boxing match. I don't know if that'll be this episode or the next episode. Can we go one season without somebody not getting arrested, please? Yeah, they thought Ada was here to start a revolution.
In the past, you were blinded by love.
No.
Oh, Freddie.
A woman with her foot in both camps. It's potentially very useful.
For you.
Useful to who?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should ask your brother Thomas.
Did he turn her in or something? Well, he's the one who sent her there, I guess, so maybe he knew she'd be arrested for being seen at that meeting. I don't know.
The only cavalryman who could ride a horse.
I was strip searched.
Wasn't part of your plan?
The arrest was so the neighbours would see and word would go around. Younger is all right.
The arrest was just for show, so that people would stop being suspicious of her, I guess? Or confirm their suspicions?
5-year contracts to supply military vehicles to the British forces.
Oh.
Ceylon, Singapore and Burma. Total value, £2 million.
Whoa. A £2 million deal, and he doesn't know this, but I imagine, yeah, and I imagine if this deal continued on when the Second World War started.
Tommy Shelby. Why not?
That's crazy. But at what point is enough money, honestly? Yeah, if you're gonna get them to stop communism, then he gets this deal.
We found abandoned inside that gentleman's car.
No, they don't. Tommy said they're here to talk.
Does he really think she's gonna give these names up? Like, come on. He must have some kind of crazy offer for her.
Really drink gin.
And you're perfect. My gin is for women that don't really drink gin.
Your gin.
That's his catchphrase this season. Why not?
And all I have to do in return is tell you everything I know about socialism.
And, the high-level informants.
So before I place a bet on who's gonna win, I need to know how strong they are.
So I can turn them in. Yeah. For my own personal gain.
Not one word.
I've said very few true words since.
That's probably the truest statement he's ever said.
Found out already that no amount of money allows you to pass through the steel sheets that separate class from class.
Yeah, he said he felt that even when he was in his big house. Oh my. Good thing Curly brought that music over.
The appropriate people. And I'll be there.
Yeah, to collect information, not to actually help them. Ah!
Special Constable Brothers, the Peaky Blinders.
I gotta get that line in at least once an episode. I'm getting nervous. I thought this would be the next episode. I thought that would be the season finale. Tommy's running. Ah, I'm getting so nervous. Oh, shoot. Has he figured it out? Does he know something's up? Of course, they cut right there, just as you see Alfie's silhouette coming through the lights. Oh my gosh! So that was my first time watching Peaky Blinders Season 4, Episode 5. Great episode. I think the season finale is going to be crazy, which it usually is, and I was wondering if we were going to have some kind of like big event for a season finale. We've seen horse races before, you know, jewelry heists, and it looks like this boxing match is what's going to be the season finale. As they were starting to set up the scene towards the end of this episode, I was getting very nervous because I was like, something big is going to happen and they're going to cut right away, which is exactly what happened. We see this like panicked look on Tommy's face, and he starts to back away from the scene, and then we just see the silhouette of Alfie show up. So I'm very nervous. I don't know if Alfie will actually be the one to kill Tommy. Luca said he has his own people to do it, but again, who knows? Alfie's a loose cannon. He might do whatever he wants to do anyway and just ignore their rules. I'm glad this episode started with pretty much a continuation of the previous episode, as we see Tommy getting out of the car and the Italian's very close behind, and he goes to this gun that's obviously been put there for just such an occasion because he knows it's a setup. Him and Polly had obviously planned this whole thing, which I had kind of predicted, but that's definitely what turns out to be the case. I was worried that Polly would be killed off if Tommy found out that she had set him up, which she did set him up. He just knew about the setup. So he was obviously prepared and was able to kill 3 men, which he said numerous times. And even when we see him talking to Lizzie, it seems to have bothered him. And as a viewer, you know, they had hyped up this big showdown between Luca and Tommy, you know, all season, and then we get to that scene and they're doing this good job of building tension and having those extreme close-ups on their eyes, and Luca's, you know, saying this Italian plan for his revenge for his father, and, you know, the slow movements of the gun, and it's just so well crafted. And then of course the police show up. The one time the police show up, and they're apparently not taking bribes anymore, so I don't know what that's gonna look like for the Peaky Blinders, but Tommy, I don't think, was expecting that. And I also didn't think the police would care if Tommy lived or died, considering he's been doing illegal activities in their city for how many years now, so I was a little surprised at that response. Of course, that meant this cat and mouse game between Tommy and Luca would continue, and we see Luca go to Alfie for help, which I wasn't expecting, but again, Alfie's he just goes where the opportunities are, and he definitely has no loyalties to anybody or anything. And as soon as Luca walks in and he's got his eyes closed, and I feel like Luca saw that as a sign of disrespect, and I don't feel like Luca was terribly impressed with that. And even Alfie's just rolling off these numbers of add 100 for this, add 500 for this, well, and, you know, add this, and then he's like, well, Tommy is a good friend of mine, so that's gonna cost more. And it's like, but you have no problem killing him. Like, oh, he's such a good friend, make sure you pay me more when I kill him. He's just such an off the rails character, and you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth next. I wasn't expecting him to just be standing there with his eyes closed, and they have the minute countdown. I'm very nervous for the boxing match scene, which I feel like will be the next episode. Maybe not all of it, but at least some of it, as we've got Arthur is back doing drugs, drinking, off the rails. We've got Alfie coming in with possible Italian reinforcements to kill Tommy. We've got the entire Shelby family there, and yeah, they're like, oh, we've cleared the floor, like they've got dogs sniffing, and they're like, everything's locked down, we're good. But I don't know if they would start suspecting every other person that's in the door. They obviously want to make money off this betting match, and they're even betting against Bonnie. They're like, well, if you go down, you know, he'll give you half the cut. I imagine it just must be exhausting to be Tommy Shelby, to constantly be looking over your shoulder, constantly, you know, wondering, is someone coming after me? Is it somebody I know? Who can I trust? Who can I not trust? If in the next episode Alfie is able able to complete this plan, or the Italians are able to complete this plan. What is that going to look like? That makes me very nervous. They all love their machine guns, and there's tons of people in this boxing match, so is it just going to be a massacre? I like it when they have these big events because I think it's a cool glimpse into the history of the time, as well as the people and like the clothing and just kind of like what social life would have been like going to a boxing match. And we saw horse races, and Tommy is still doing these horse races with May now, and he has a horse named Dangerous. But I think it's a good way to incorporate what life would have been like back then and into the story. So instead of it just being, it is very much a gangster show, but instead of it just being, you know, constant shootouts in back alleys, they have these, you know, horse races and boxing matches, and it just adds a new element to it. I don't know how long Michael is going to be stuck in the woods with the Lee family and how happy he's going to be about that. He definitely didn't seem excited about it, but it was definitely an interesting episode for Polly as we see her and Mr. Gold spend some time together, and her character definitely in the past few episodes has made a total turnaround from the start of the season, and she's like, I feel free. Like, I think she feels she's invincible now. Like, she doesn't matter what she does. And like I said, I don't know if that kind of reckless thinking will lead to further trouble. Please no spoilers, but she's definitely taking risks. She's making bold choices. She's speaking her mind, and even when she pulls the knife on him, and we see just again how hyper focused she is on Michael and protecting her son at all costs. Basically, that's what this whole thing was about. That's why she lied to Luca and said like, yeah, I'll protect my son and I'll turn in Tommy, and then instantly goes and tells Tommy that this is what's happening, and then takes Michael away from the situation. He's like, they'll never be able to catch up with the Lees. They move constantly. They don't even know where they're going. Like, there's no plan. Tommy definitely has the hometown advantage. I like how they gave Polly's character this second sight and this ability to speak to the dead or commune with the dead, and they had mentioned that a little bit in previous seasons, and then they kind of dropped it off. Now that she's had this horrifying experience with being in jail and having her head in the noose, the way she described it was like walking or climbing through the window into another world, basically. And she's like, now I see everything, like I'm free. So I think the trauma from that horrible experience definitely brought back those gifts. I just think it's an interesting trait of her character, and I don't think it's something that they needed to add. Like, they could have just had her be part of the Shelby family and, you know, Aunt Polly, but the fact that they gave her these abilities, and even when she reads Lizzie's tea leaves and she's like, oh, you're gonna get pregnant, just having a character with such a strong sense of intuition and whatever you want to believe her skills do or do not exist. Tommy had Ada arrested, but we find out it's just for show, basically, so that people are deterred from associating with communists and the Communist Party, because even when Ada and Freddie were still involved, it was a long time ago, and Ada doesn't seem interested and doesn't believe in this cause anymore and wants nothing to do with it. She still has that reputation. People still think that of her. So Tommy's like, I need you to get arrested for show. And then we obviously find out about that British military contract, which is crazy. I can't below how much £2 million would be in today's currency. It's still a huge number. I can't even imagine what that would be like. That also makes me wonder, at what point is too much money? Like, where are they going to stop? Are they ever going to stop? Like, that safe is stacked. Then he will get this crazy deal, and it's just interesting watching TV shows and movies in history when we're obviously in the future and we know what happens, and they don't know that there's another world war coming. And with Tommy getting this military contract for 3 years, I can't even imagine if they continued what that would look like, and just how much money he would make off of selling vehicles to the British Army for the entire Second World War and even leading up to it. Like, it's just insane. And it always feels a little bit like cheating, because you know something the characters don't know, and he's like, oh man, like, just you wait, like, you're gonna find out something. Lizzie is in fact pregnant and is going to keep the baby, and Tommy seems okay with it. I don't think it was what he was planning on, obviously, but he's like, you know, with all this death, it's nice to have some life. So I don't think they're going to be together. I think he's just going to, so he's like, I'll buy you a house. They definitely have an interesting relationship, and it's interesting that her character definitely could have been, you know, a one season character or a one episode character even, but they've like strung her story along all these seasons, and I think she's just an underrated character. I don't think Tommy ever thought about having kids again after Grace died, so I feel like this was definitely a surprise, but hopefully one he's okay with. And that dinner scene between Jesse and Tommy, and it's interesting because they both seem to not trust the other person. Like, they've both done research about them, and Jesse's like, I know your wife passed away. I know about your family, obviously. And Tommy just wants to get that information. And Jesse's like, oh, if you joined our party, you know, that would be a big deal. I feel like Jesse thinks if Tommy starts showing up at meetings, then they will start to progress things along rather quickly, because obviously he has quite a bit of power within the city. So she wants to kind of use that status and his name, I think, at the meetings to progress her goal and to get closer to this cause of socialism. And Tommy has the opposite intentions. He's like, I'll go, I'll show my face, but it's only to get information and names so that I can turn in so that I get this contract. It's 100% for my own self-serving purpose. I have no intention of helping your cause. I'm trying to shut it down, actually. And he's like, I just need to get her to trust me, and then I will betray that trust basically immediately. So I'm curious to see if Ada will tell Jesse that that's Tommy's plan. Ada was pretty upset with being arrested, having to be strip searched because her brother set her up just to be arrested, and obviously didn't give her any warning or anything. And even when she's like, I was strip searched, she's like, oh, sorry. It's like, yeah, like, you didn't mean for it to happen, but these are the consequences of your choices, and, you know, here we are. Overall, I thought it was a good episode. I feel like the next episode will be a continuation of the boxing scene that we ended this episode with. I'm very nervous about what's going to happen. They seem to always put together these perfect storms of enemies and family and just this, like, chaos storm, so I'm very nervous to see what's going to happen between Tommy and Alfie and Luca, and if Michael can stay safely hidden in the woods, and what Jesse and Tommy's situation will be like in the next episode. So lots of things happening, and yeah, they usually end the season finale with someone dying. We've already lost John this season, so I hope we don't lose another member of the Peaky Blinders. I feel like that would be a lot for one season, but again, there's another bullet with Tommy's name on it, so it's making me anxious going into the next episode, and especially with it being the season finale. They love to leave with a very intense finale. But thank you so much for sharing on this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Wondering how he knew it was a setup? The business of revenging. Aren't the police on the payroll? Yeah, he basically set himself up as live bait. That near-death experience has brought back the second sight. Will she be the future Mrs. Gold? Why does he want him to go to this boxing match? It's like, oh, you know, emotional damage. You know, I'll need some extra money. If he can get them to stop communism, then he gets this deal.